everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the Altcoin show, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we have altcoins that are on sale. Thanks to the Fed Powell and some of the comments he made straight after the markets took a little bit of a hammering there. And of course, I was being asked what coins was I able to pick up, and I had to go through my phone to see what orders, because I like to have all of those buy orders set in advance to get hit. And so I'm going to share about some of those coins in a moment that I did happen to pick up on the drop. And is there more drop to come? When is alt season going to be? We're going to answer all these questions in just a moment. But before we do that, you know what I'm going to say. If you're a regular watcher, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help support the channel. Appreciate all the kind words. You all take the time to write in the comment section. You take the time to write them. I take the time to read them there. And of course, the questions that get asked there, I do look to get back to those as soon as I am able to, with an emphasis on as soon as I am able to. So thank you for your patience there. And if you would like to access the Discord that I'm part of, the Stocks with Just Josh Discord, the most amazing people on the planet in the Discord and the crypto channel there, engaging with people daily. I'm in there. I'm also in the newly created meme channel, aka the Party Zone. There are tons of other channels in there, by the way. And of course, I'm also have my own Crown Traders channel in there, where I post some education, some resource, some analysis, some of the trades that I'm in, as well as some entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so, as I shared a little bit earlier today, altcoins took a bit of a battering because Bitcoin dominance is showing increasing signs of reclaiming long-term technical uptrend. And as long as this continues, Bitcoin season will be in session. And so we do have to look at Bitcoin dominance. This really does help us to see when this is going up. Usually altcoins are going down. Some altcoins did show some green and a sea of red, but not many. There are always going to be some outliers, of course. This is just generally speaking, there are always exceptions to the rule. And so what I had shared about initially was that, first of all, we wanted to see a breakdown from here and a retest rejection from the 50-day moving average and the trend line that I had there. And then we did come down and we broke below the Tribal Trades trend line down here, and we came down. We lost the 200 EMA on the daily, and everybody's thinking, okay, we're in altcoin season. And it did look like that until we bottomed out. Really, we bottomed out here on the 3rd of December. And this is where everybody should be watching, that now we were starting to make a little bit of a trend in the other direction. Now, of course, not always super like, oh no, it's all going to go like this, because this could have gone up and then gone down a lot further. Okay, so don't get me wrong there. But this was a wick here. This here should have been a little bit of a warning sign for altcoins. But again, a rejection here, we would have just put in a lower high, which we did do, and then we came down, but then we made a higher low there. So we made a higher low and a higher high. So that's a warning signal there. And this is why you watch, and this is why we're sharing about if we came up to here, what would happen. And we, instead of rejection, we broke down. So what we had here was we had a lower high, but then here we put in a higher low. And then we put in a higher high, and now we've just put in a higher high. So it's kind of flipped around a little bit. I did say I expected this to be retested once we got above here with some power through here, that I did expect this to be rejected at the Tribal Trades trend line, with the 50-day moving average came down to it. And so that is where we're at now. So where do we look at things? Well, first of all, in the last bull run, and I did share this earlier in the earlier show here, the last bull run was December the 28th, where Bitcoin dominance topped out. Are we running a bit early? If this ends up being the top for Bitcoin dominance for this cycle, it's possible that the cycle is a little bit accelerated, because this comes on November 21st. And the last time Bitcoin dominance topped out in the last cycle in December 2020 was the 28th. So is this possibly the January sell-off coming a little bit early in the middle of December, maybe 3 weeks early here. Are we a month early here? Only time's going to tell. We're going to look back. I'm not prepared to say that just yet. Maybe this was just a little bit of a black swan flush out event, or maybe maybe now we go into this. Usually what will happen is the altcoins will start to move from here if in January, like happened in January 2021. And I'm not saying that it is. I'm still thinking that altcoin season will happen in January 2025. I'm still expecting there to be a sell-off in January, but I am thinking about this possible other. I have to consider it. Look, Bitcoin had never made an all-time high before its halving until this cycle. Possibly the cycle is accelerated. I have to consider that. I have to consider that that is a possibility, and I have to consider that this was the January dump come in December. Does that mean that the Christmas rally is canceled for Bitcoin? Quite possibly. Is the top in for Bitcoin for the month of December at around 108K? It's quite possible, but I am going to still stick with the thesis that maybe this was just a flush out. I'll be updating more in the coming days as I've got to flesh this thesis out. I've got to look into it a little bit more. I've got to consider some things. I want to watch what Bitcoin dominance does today. If we get a hard rejection here and we come back and retest here, and then we fly through here, then obviously it seems to me that maybe the cycle is a little bit accelerated there by a little bit. But if we come down and then we continue to break down here, and Bitcoin takes over as the limelight and center stage, then obviously we're going to look at sticking with that December kind of time frame. So what were some of the altcoins yesterday that I had been looking at? Some of the ones that also, I'm not going to be able to share all of them here. I'm just going to share a few of them here. And I thought we'd start off with AI Fund because that was one I talked about yesterday, and also that was shared in the Discord as well. And what we see here is that the entry that I had given was around, I believe, the 70 odd cent region, 75, 76, 78, 7 cent region. And look at these Fibonacci's. These are the levels that I had given on the show as if this held, that this could be an entry here. And boy, did it hold. Not only did it hold, but it's already one of the few altcoins that is actually higher. Than, well, actually yesterday it did get up to 94 cents. So it's not higher than 94 cents, but it's rebounded quite nicely. In other words, we didn't really see it go below the entry or around about the entry that was given. So this has performed very, very strongly there. I wasn't looking necessarily at AI Fund to be one of the stronger performers, but it just has been. So this has actually done quite well. Now, if you were looking at maybe getting a possible entry here, there's the 82 cent entry. And if we break it down to the 1 hour here, and we can kind of see what went on. Now, if it comes back to the 74 here and holds, that could be a possible entry there. If it holds, if it comes down, you go, what do you mean by confirmed support? If it confirms the support on this level at 74, if it doesn't break through it, if it just melts straight through it and goes down the next level, you're waiting. You don't want to try and catch a falling knife. You just want to wait for confirmed support. And sometimes I'll break it down even to the 5-minute time frame here and go down and wait for some confirmed support here. There's no confirmed support here. There's some confirmed support here. It goes down below, initially rejects, and then it's above. And this would be a place to get in the trade confirmed support. And of course, if we come down here and we bust below it, we come back up and reject, we've got confirmed resistance. That could be a place to stop out of the trade, of course, there, or set your stop loss at what is the amount that you are not prepared to lose more than. If you've got $100 in the trade, you don't want to lose more than 10, then you've got to set your stop loss to lose no more than $10. That's just a simple, easy way that I've found for stop losses there. And so, of course, if we break above, I haven't got that Fibonacci line there. Let's go back in. I don't know if I've drawn one for 82. Yeah, I do have one for 82 there. And so this would be an entry. But if we break above that, we come back, retest that line there as, this line here that we're actually above. If we confirm that as support, then that could be an entry there at 82. I say 82. It's not 82 cents. It's 8 cents. 8.2 cents, I should really say. So if I've been saying 82 and you're listening in the car, don't buy it at 82, buy it at 0.02 0.82. So come down, and of course there is the 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, so that could be an entry there at 83, which is a 0.083. So 0.083. So my entries on this one would be 0.083 or 0.082. Of course, manage your stop losses. If it comes down to the 0.074, so 7.4 cents, that could be an entry there, 0.074 there. And then, of course, if we just take off from here, then again, if buying higher to sell higher, if you get in here at this 0.09, you could front run the trade if you think this is going to go up and break through here and then bust above, but just be prepared to be wrong and have stop losses set accordingly. So usually when it's in the middle of the range, if I think it can front run, it's going to go up. And worst case scenario, if it rejects here, I can always get out of the trade here and then get back in if it breaks above and retest. I do see 10 cents as a real big level of resistance there at the moment. But of course, the all-time high is up there around 14 cents. And so therefore, there is a lot of room there left to move, I think, for AI funds. So that's going quite well. Another one that I looked to add to was Bonk. And one of the reasons why is the 200 EMA on the daily. We almost there. And I'm not sure if my order hit. I might have just set it above. I'll have to check that. But I had an order there just set above the 200 EMA on the daily at around 28 or 29. So I have to see if that got tagged or not. And of course, sometimes I'll just push through an order manually if I think that is pretty close. Remember, historically, in a bull run, the 200 EMA on the daily has been generally a good time to enter. And if we are looking at meme coins, absolutely took a hammering across the board. I mean, this is down 52% from its all-time high there. I believe that's its all-time high. Or its most recent. I believe that is the all-time high there if we look on the weekly chart there. That does seem to be the case there with that. So as you can see, this we're below the 50-day moving average as well. If you want to take a quick swing, there could be an entry there, and then if it rejects here at the 50-day moving average, that could be a little bit of a swing. But if it breaks back above, retest, you could actually get in the 50-day moving average there and open the trade there or add to the trade there as well. But the 200 EMA on the daily, we haven't come down to, like I said, I'm going to have to check there, but I definitely have some orders there for Bonk in regards to that. Another one that I was looking an eye on was HNT because it came down to the 50-day moving average and showed some strength there. Remember, in a bull cycle like this, in the parabolic side of the bull market, the 50-day moving average and the 200 EMA on the daily have generally ended up as being good places to accumulate. That's assuming that we're not in some early bear market, which I don't think that we are. Of course, there are no guarantees. There's only probabilities. And so I'm trading the probabilities that we still are in a bull cycle and we've still got some legs left to go. So these areas here have generally been good for coins. So if you go to any coin, and remember, I'm not talking about any coin out there. I think there are some coins that may hit the 200 EMA on the daily and then just keep going and they're gone. So you just do need to be careful there. If you are trading the 200 EMA on the daily, that also can be a place to stop out. If it goes below, rejects there, you may want to stop out of that, and then you could always get back in if it breaks above, retest as support, and then moves in the other direction there, okay? So that was another one that I was looking at there. A lot of people asked about Ondo, which is quite far away from the 50-day moving average and the 200 EMA on the daily, so I did not. I think we're just too far away from those. That just is a higher level of risk. They do have an unlock coming up as well. And we also have Render here. So I did pick up Render right here. I know that order did hit because I had it on the 50-day moving average. I have another order down here at the 200 EMA on the daily. Again, this is my trading strategy. When we get into these kind of dumps there, these are where I look to place the orders on the 50-day and on the 200 EMA on the daily there. And so Render was another one that I was looking at. Solana, again, I did have an order in here that did get filled on the 50-day moving average there. This was another area that I'd already picked up previously, so this order had already been hit. My further orders down are at the 200 EMA on the daily, which is down there about 175. So I think I have some orders just around this area here for Solana. I don't believe that any of my orders got hit yet for Sui, because my orders are generally down around this area here, which is the 50-day moving average. So if we do come down and tag that, there will be some orders hit down there. I might have some orders here. I possibly have some orders here on the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. This is not the 200 EMA on the daily. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that. It's a long way down to the 200 EMA on the daily there. It would be quite some tumble to get down there, so I don't see that big of a tumble there. But can we come down and get the 50-day moving average? It's possible, but will it be here? Or will the 50-day moving average be up around here or this area when it comes down to test it? I'm still sticking with, that I think Sui can get to $25 in 2025. Some people ask me, do you still think that can happen? Yeah, I do still think that can happen. I remember buying Solana at around $13 in around February of 2021. I believe it was, maybe it was January 2021 or February 2020, at around $12 and went up to $260 there. And so I think this is still a possibility, and I will update my thoughts if I ever feel that this is no longer a possibility there. And then we have some Tau. I'm not sure. Yeah, so there is the 200 EMA on the daily. So I think that one of my orders will have been tagged there for Potenza Tau. I had purchased some here around the 50-day moving average there, and just accumulating there. And then we came down and look at the 200 EMA on the daily. There was a lot of buys there. Of course, if we were to break below that and retest there, that is an area that you could get out of the Tau trade. Of course, if you're accumulating for HODL or for a longer swing plate and you're just believing in this coin and that there will be a surge, then maybe you're building some positions there. But of course, never be risking and trading money that you cannot afford to lose there. So this would be a big area that I'm looking here. I really do not want to see any of these coins lose the 200 EMA on the daily. And I know I'm going to get questions that will be exiting if they lost the 200 EMA on the daily. I wouldn't be on Tau because my cost basis is a lot lower. I've been buying this since it was in the $100 region. Around that 160, 180 area and the 200 area as well. So I wouldn't necessarily be exiting my position there, but you do have to consider your own position. And I always say, listen, have your own strategy in play. Know where you're going to enter, where you're going to be taking profits, and where you're going to exit, and also be willing to modify that strategy if need be. If it doesn't quite hit the profit level, maybe you can take the profits a little bit earlier. If we don't quite get down to that buy zone area, maybe you want to execute a manual buy there as well. Be thinking through all of these, have a strategy, have a plan, and of course, until the next episode, this is all we have time to cover today, but until the next episode, happy trading.